So I wanted to tell you a few things about what I'm doing right now. I'm doing one open mic a month in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I've started making these zines. They're like little paper magazines that you can make and fold in different ways that have poems on them. So I'm handing them out at the open mics, which gives me more exposure, everything. And people seem to like them. They grabbed them up really fast. Um, I've written two books, Lost Love Volume 1 and Lost Love Volume 2. They're on Amazon. Uh, I've actually written four books. I have a book I wrote that was for and about survivors of sexual assault. It's a pretty heavy book. It's got 44 poems, 70 pages, and I'm shopping for a publisher now. So, which is very expensive, believe me. You've got to pay reading fees and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get that published by 2027, hopefully. I also wrote a small chat book. It's only 13 poems or 13 pages, eight poems. Yeah, something like that. And it's called The Sound of Leaving. It's kind of sad, but the poems, I'm going to read a couple of the poems today. Other than that, I work for a sexual trauma nonprofit in Louisiana, answering the hotline. We have a 24/7 hotline, meeting survivors at the hospital. And so that's pretty much what I do, just so you'll know a little bit about me and what I've done. Writing wise, I've been writing poetry since I was seven, and that's the first poem I'll do. The poem I wrote when I was 7 years old is Clyde, oh poor Clyde died. He took a bath in comet and tide, shriveled and dried. Poor Clyde died. Read it to my mother, and she immediately put me in therapy. All right, let me get on with my poems here. I just wrote the first one I'm going to read is one I just wrote this morning in one of the classes I go to on Tuesdays. It's called Just in Case. I sit here in a day that is nothing if not ordinary. It's daytime now as I click off the porch light. I think of you for the 10th time today. As always, you remain on my mind. Outside it's cold with a bit of sunshine, not windy, just cold with some sun. I think of you again as I vacuum, as I wash the dishes, and I smile and sigh both. Isn't it always all of it, all at once? Life is lonely, but I keep going on without you, hoping for a warmer day tomorrow. And of course, as always, I leave the light on for you just in case. The next one is called Snowflakes. Wrote this in another class on Friday. This was the in-person class, so it was really exciting for me. Life is always clearer. Sorry. Life is always a clearer, crisper, sharper image in retrospect. Funny how vivid an image becomes watching someone walk away. But moments, the important ones, are like snowflakes melting in the air or on your skin if they get close enough. I missed my snowflake, my chance to slow down, to be less anxious, to back off, to ease the rains. So many times, rain, frost on branches become nothing. I am able to reach nothing I am able to reach or even catch as it falls and melts. She was never snow, someone who would stick to the ground. But then again, in retrospect, when was I ever grounded? When was I ever a secure place to land? Someone you could fall on, stick with. In retrospect, my life has been one big snowflake. The next was called Hold Fast. If you're above 50, you probably will understand this poem. Hold fast to memories, to friends, to truth, to belief, to what's right, to lessons learned, to memories, to hope, to freedom, to places, to justice, to honor, to self, to memories, to home, to family, to love, to kindness, to empathy, to daily gratitude, to memories, to being old and repetitive. The next one's called Love is Messy. I write a lot of poems about Istanbul, Turkey. Because honestly, the woman I love, although we're not together, lives there. So I wrote a lot of poems that have things that I'm talking about in Istanbul. You can't always pick it up, but my friends know this. So love is messy. Oh, this isn't about Istanbul, though. Sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I was at the wrong point. Anyway, love is messy. I'm reminded of broken crayons, of displaced anger in a child's room, feeling let down, unloved, or maybe loved too much in the wrong ways. Love turning into hate, anger in a young child's mind, silent, yet fighting back inside, always on uneven ground. Older now, the mental pushes and shoves of young romance, influences I am too weak to protest. Hearts, giving away leisurely and returned broken, abused, body autonomy nowhere on the horizon, never knowing yet how no would sound in the mouth. Long nights left alone, only to be suddenly pulled back, invaded again in my only theoretically safe space. Years of invasion, forced silence, until one day, finally, finally finding no and being told. It happens. Boys will be boys. Life is messy. Shrug. The next one is I wrote it last month because last month was Human Trafficking Awareness Month. It's called Trafficked. Bad men came to my city. Bad men threatened my family. Bad men took me away. My mind said no. My body complied. 20 hours of plane rides. The days of knowing where I am, where I'm going, or no more. My mind said no. My body complied. My new home, a car, a building, a doorway, a room. I am no longer a person. I am an object. My mind said no. My body complied. And this is called Bad Men. I don't know why it's called Bad Men, though. Anyway, the fact that I don't understand you doesn't mean I don't care. I have a big heart and tons of compassion. I can meet you most anywhere. I haven't been enslaved, but I have been abused, beaten, raped, and used. I have never been racially profiled or treated poorly because of the color of my skin. But I know when I see one, I'm talking about bad men. Uh, Hatred of any kind is something I don't condone at all. I think I had to make a statement one day, a reaction to something somebody said at a Zoom. Anyway, this is my Renee Good poem. An ordinary day. He was dropped off at school, lunch packed, sandwich crust lovingly removed. For him, nothing was wrong. A quick kiss goodbye, gross. He almost forgot his homework again. Mom caught it. Mom always caught it. The bell rang, attendance was taken, math, spelling words, recess. An ordinary day. He had no idea what his mother was doing while he was at school. Why should he? But she was writing. She was organizing. She was believing things could be better. She was alive. 3 shots rang out while he played tag. 3 shots while he laughed with his friends. 3 shots while his name was called for lineup. He kept playing. The bad man with guns ended his world between lessons. The bad man with guns shot his mother inside her own SUV, blood-soaking leather that will never be clean again. The bad man with guns wouldn't let a doctor touch her body as she lay dying on a gravel road. The bad man with guns covered their faces, but their eyes were open. They knew. The school day ended. Backpacks were zipped. Kids went home. His mother did not. Today, there is one more motherless child in the world. I always kind of have to sit with that one for a minute, you know? All right. Oh, Istanbul poems. Okay. This is called Pigeons. And yeah, pigeons. Pigeons are hungry today. I wrap my arms around you as we start our day. We feed them bread from the vendor's cart as we wait for our sea-bound journey to start. The ferry fills with people and starts to cut ribbons into the Bosphorus Strait. We've already started feeding them because they were hungry and couldn't wait. We pass the mosque, such a beautiful view. I see her bow her head as most good Muslims would do. On the other side awaits our day of fun and folly. Spending time with her always makes me very jolly. I must have run out of time on that prompt. The next one is called Birds. The birds are too quiet here, maybe because there's not hundreds of cats roaming the streets. I wake up to silence that is deafening. It takes me back to when silence was my life. I long for squawking birds, vendors yelling on street corners, and cats inside the shopping mall, being a normal shopping experience. Life is too quiet without you. I like my life messy. Kids running through the house, always having a full basket of laundry to fold. And you, a woman in Istanbul, with a smile to rival the sun, a laugh to make every other sound turn into meaningless din. Yes, the birds are too quiet here in my home that really isn't my home. This was called The Sign of My Life. I grew up carrying silence in my mouth. Words didn't come easy, not verbally anyway. And no was the hardest word to utter, or is that mutter or stutter? To be honest, I was like origami, always on a quest to discover how small I could fold myself, how little and quiet I could make myself, fold it like paper, writing on the back of words written only in my head. Well, not anymore. Now my words snap like a whip, spread out like mustard on a piece of bread, speaking out loud my long folded truths, like an 8-page folded zine, opening up to display art once folded away, but now beautiful and majestic. All right, and sorry, here we go. It's one of my favorite poems I've ever written. It's called Invisible. You say I'll be bored, that you can't give me enough, that your life is too full, too messy, too much for me to want. But you don't see me. You don't see how I ache just to stand in your kitchen, just to sit on your balcony while your kids run through the house, while the kettle whistles, while the day is nothing but ordinary. You don't see that I would fly halfway around the world just to hug you, just to fold your laundry, to hear your son say, Parte, Harty, to fall asleep to the sound of your living room TV playing Turkish news in the next room. You think I want something from you, but all I want is you, uncurated, unfiltered, real. You don't see me, not the way I see you, beautiful in your chaos, worthy in your fatigue, enough, always enough. And it hurts me because I'm here, 6,000 miles away, heart open, hands empty, waiting to be let in. And you won't even open the door. And this one is a favorite of Finn Bell. It has been declared by her a favorite poem. I wrote her. I wrote her happy words, loving words. Jump on this carousel with me. No reply. Another try. I wrote her invitations, affirmations. Please love me. No reply. She broke me. Another day I wrote her, still trying to give her the world. No reply. I'm crushed. My heart lies in ruins. I wrote her again, ink pleading. No reply. My ink runs dry. My heart is full, yet broken into pieces. She doesn't see me. I wrote her one final time. No goodbye. No reply, sorry. I was looking at the next poem. No reply. Jesus. The next poem is called No Goodbyes. I saw you walking away, leaving without a sound. Silence, the prelude for the action taken, for the act in and of itself. No goodbyes, no explanations, closed doors and done. I'm just looking for the next poem. Sorry about that. This one is called Aküjülek, and in Turkish it means fluency. Loving her, my heart learned a language that it hasn't forgotten yet. It lives in the body and pauses, and the way silence still expects an answer. I speak it alone now, fluently, to rooms that no longer reply. You decided I wasn't worth the sound of your voice on the way out. No goodbye to translate, no final sentence to remember. Just the language I carry, still intact, in the silence that refused to learn mine. My next poem is called Camera. Funny how I remember it like it was yesterday. The little cafe in Attacher, our favorite waiter and his goofy grin. I had the camera rolling on my phone. You smiled and blushed. You told me you would miss me. You told me you loved me. You seemed genuinely sad to see me go off on the plane 6,000 miles away the next day. We cried at the airport. And I went home and never saw you again. David, you tell me if I'm running out of time, okay? This was called In the Fall of 2023. I met smiles, that look she gave where the smile went straight to her eyes. I met laughter. It was hard to believe that I was really that funny, but then again, her amusement showed in her eyes. I met compassion, eyes that carried a look of understanding, of empathy that one would seem unable to fake. I met passion, sudden kisses in slow moving elevators, hidden desires, eyes that weren't used to even registering. One day it all changed. My camera was rolling and the lens caught the truth. When beautiful eyes went dim, when smiling demeanor and expression soured, when eyes rolled in mockery. The camera caught it all, the contrast, the change between then and now, between before and after, between the new and done. Now the green dot on Instagram has gone gray, and I texted no reply. Surely change is the one constant. I guess it all depends on how the light hits the lens. This one's called Guli Guli. It's another Istanbul poem. How could one end things when no goodbye is given? You left without allowing me to hear the words gule gule, which in your language means goodbye. I'm no fool. I know when things are done and over. But words mean a lot to me as a poet and a writer, so silence, although it should, doesn't say goodbye, even though eventually it denotes the end. Without the words, without the farewell, my mind still hears the I love yous, the I miss yous. The memories have no ending to yield to. I'm not asking for an explanation, a justification, a kiss goodbye, just closure. I'm going to do a few haikus. What? This is the last regular poem I'm going to do. Oh, what, David? Are you talking to me? You out of time?
No, I had to silence somebody, I guess.
Okay, I just want to make sure. So, this is called emotional terrorism. I am a hostage in your silence, waiting, waiting, waiting. We don't talk anymore. The green dot is dim. You may be there or not. I refresh the page like a wound I can't stop touching. Every empty hour is a locked door. I am still inside, hoping you will turn the key. Your silence is a sword. It cuts clean. I stand here bleeding, wanting to go back, fold time in half, live there forever. But I am not in a relationship. I am in a waiting room. And a lot of my friends do not believe that I write haikus because I never read my haikus ever. So I decided to, what's the word I'm looking for? To haiku bomb you. So keep up. My favorite haiku in the world is called Her. It's always her. final destination of my every poem. Desert. You are a desert, hot sand slipping through fingers, cold nights all alone. Soar. Come journey with me. Let us soar with sky-like minds wide open to love. Dinosaur. Its cry promotes fear. The Tyrannosaurus Rex. Best run when it's near. Sorry, I always laugh at that one. And if you're anything like me, you'll understand this one. Meds. Oh, temper, temper. Did you take your medicine? I don't remember. Offering. Words fly off the page on imagination's wings. Sky high offering. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Oh my, I'll leave the camera, so to speak, rolling so you can get the comments of people. So people, please unmute your mics and unstop the cork in your throats, as Whitman would say, and clap or laugh or say something to Sam. I'll just say a couple words first. Change is the only constant, indeed. That's a powerful truth. And I guess it all depends on what kind of lens. I know I'm maybe
Mm.
misquoting that, but I love that way you bring it all down to what your outlook, your vision. Um, and I love this haiku. It's always her, the final destination of my every poem.
So
Wow.
true.
Okay, so let's let Sam know how we liked her show.
Nice
I
work,
think
Stam. I really appreciated everything that you read. Very, very sweet stuff.
mm,
Thank
I
you for
think you
sharing with us,
also,
Sam. Wonderful.
Wonderful words
yeah,
from a wonderful poet. Nicely done,
always kind of
as
raw
always.
and straight from the heart. It comes across as so sort of genuine and no sort of fancy frills. It's straight at you.
I think it's the human experience that the poet has the courage to give voice to that unrequited love, and the lack of closure. Sometimes, even if there can't be reciprocal love, to have some sense of closure that we understand one another, that whether it's to come or go. But I think a profound, and I think the world carries profound sense of loss and grief in many of our relationships, not even just love, like it could be with children, it could be with parents. So I think you did a great job of giving voice to the grief and the loss and the lack of reciprocity and the lack of closure, which is a human experience.
Sam, this is Rusty. I'm so happy to hear your poetry. It always brings me joy to hear young people in my community in the arts reading poetry and all that stuff. And isn't
God
that the
bless you.
truth? Isn't that the truth? It is always her. It's always she.
Right. You've rendered us speechless. Anyone else want to comment? We're pausing for a minute or two before we roll on into round two. Keep accidentally rhyming.
I like the haikus too. I thought they were packed with a lot of wisdom. That's the great part of haiku is that it forces you to condense and to say what's really got meaning. And some of your lines were just great. I grew up carrying silence in my mouth. I mean, that's a terrific line.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
I have to tell you, I have a really good group of friends: Leslie Tyson, Megan McDonald, and a few other that aren't here. Um, that I meet with them every 2 weeks because we're all in the Stafford Challenge. We're all writing a poem a day for a year. So we every 2 weeks we get together and we go over our poetry. We get feedback and my friends have given me a lot of constructive ideas on some of my poems, and I've definitely learned not to put so many ands in. Thanks, Megan. But it's really been helpful, and I would encourage all you people to write in groups if you don't already. I know they have tumble words or something like that. There's a lot of good generative creative creative places you can go online on Zoom and
and
get in those groups.
I think you're right there, Sam. It's always what you cut out that makes a poem. No, I agree with you. There are too many ands in the world. Not enough buts.
All right. Well,
Thanks a lot for having me, David. I appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's great to have you and have you here again. Uh, and go
Don't
ahead.
forget to turn off the recording.
Thank you. Oh, my Lord.
You're welcome.